As we come into our time of guided meditation, feel free to close your eyes if that's comfortable, or simply let your gaze soften. And breathing in and out. I invite you today to call to mind a transition or a change, a threshold moment in your life. And hold it gently as a loving witness to yourself in God, that great open door. And I invite you for today's meditation, which will be a little bit of a guided imagery journey, to set an intention, maybe something as simple as, I trust in the unfolding. I let my heart go deeper. And as you breathe in and out, begin to notice the natural rhythm of the waves of your breath. And sense your body supported wherever you're sitting right now. In this now moment. In this now moment where we breathe and begin again and again and again. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do, but simply be present to your breath, to the sensations of your body settling into stillness, to the sound of my voice that may come and go as a wave, to the gentle sound of music that supports your settling in and going deep. We'll prepare for a journey by bringing to your heart, mind, your inner eye, a sanctuary, a place that is real or imagined, that is a place of safety, connection, look around you in this sanctuary. Notice what you see. Is it a room with soft furnishings and a place to rest? Is it under a canopy of trees? Look all around you in your inner sanctuary and feel yourself completely at ease, knowing you're in a place of refuge. And as you soak up the peace of this refuge, as you look around, you notice a door, or maybe a gate, and pulled by curiosity, you walk slowly over to that door or gate and open it. Ahead of you lies a path. Completely unafraid, you step out on that path. Feeling the presence of the divine walking with you in each step. The path meanders, winding and curves, leading you to a staircase that spirals, and again, completely unafraid, you step onto that first stair. And feeling the friend who travels with you always. You climb down the staircase, spiraling deeper and deeper, feeling smooth stone walls under your hand. It grows darker as you climb deeper, and yet you remain unafraid. And although it's dark, when you reach the bottom of the staircase, you sense a landing. As your eyes become accustomed to the dark, you see something glowing lightly in a corner. You pick it up and hold this treasure in your hand. What does it look like? Is there a color? Is it weightless? Is it heavy? But you know it's the treasure of your divine birthright that has been there all along. So you pick it up and hold it close to your heart. And as you do, that small landing is filled with light, glowing light. And you know it's coming from you. You dance back up that spiral staircase. Your feet flying in joy. You come back to the path that led you to the staircase. You follow it with joy back to the door or the gate that you opened with curiosity. And now you open it again, filled with peace and certainty that the beloved that you longed for is housed within you all along. The edges of the sanctuary you imagined you needed dissolve because you know the sanctuary is within. And begin to deepen your breath. Breathing in the light that you are, the sanctuary that you are. Trusting that long past when you remember that journey, that its peace remains in you and shines out of you and as you. And so it is. So beginning again, that feels better. Whoop, not quite. Hold on through the sanctuary of technical difficulties and unfoldings. Can you hear me now? Okay. So one of the gifts of that beginner's mind that Buddhism talks about, that we embrace as that sense of curiosity, that invitation to stay open and curious to what is in front of us, to let go of any preconceived ideas of what we are about to study or step into, is that gift of beginning again. One of the other aspects of beginner's mind that I am blessed with in remembrance these days is what it is like to be with little ones. Those two toddler grandbabies are very much at just almost 2 years old, filled with curiosity, filled with wonder, sometimes curiosity and wonder that does not want to be diverted away from dumping water on Uncle Billy's head. But it is curiosity and wonder. And Saint Uncle Billy didn't really mind. It made me think of the passage from Matthew's chapter 18, Matthew's Gospel. At that time, the disciples came to Jesus and asked, "Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" Because we always want to know who's best. He called a child whom he put among them and said, "Truly, I tell you, unless you change and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." So again, not necessarily in a scripture scholar standpoint, but in a reminder that sometimes, like those toddlers, we do not want to be diverted from our own path. Our curiosity, our wonder, our agenda has led us down what we think is the right path for us, and we don't want to be diverted. And yet, the beauty of that childlike wonder is staying open. It is finding wonder in the small moments, and it is listening to the guidance, the wisdom of love. In an ideal world, as children, we are shaped by the love of our parents. I know I am particularly blessed to have my parents still with me, where we have navigated through some of those trickier moments in the relationship between children and parents, where there's more tension. Sometimes I now tell them to go to their rooms. But that creative energy, that energy of love that called us into being, is what calls us to continually begin again, to listen, to say yes to where God is calling us. And to notice when we are stuck in our own sense of where we are supposed to head, where we should be, where I'm not like that person who I admire, or I am way better than that person that I think is like, So where do we find that sense of childlike wonder, of beginner's mind, of curiosity, of being willing to go deeper, to dive in? We sang it. When I pray, I go deeper. When I meditate, when I walk a labyrinth walk, when I sit outside on a sultry summer day and feel that heat and humidity, when I walk on a snowy afternoon, when I fall in love with nature, even if it is looking out my own window at my backyard, or a little video of a caterpillar forming its chrysalis and turning into a butterfly that I watched about 5 times over and over with Eli the other night. More butterfly, BB. How do we, there's a good image too, right? That chrysalis. A moth grows a cocoon, a butterfly grows a chrysalis. I just learned this. And there is a dying that happens. That caterpillar goes inside and there's a death to that new life. There's that resurrection, that universal symbol and pattern that shows up also again and again, the beginning again and again. As I said, I know what a privilege it is for me to be able to do a deep dive into pilgrimage. My dear friend, Reverend Sue, she and her husband David were married right here, or maybe at a venue, but Reverend Jim Fuller did their wedding. So I think about all those spiraling threads. That's why that song makes me cry, actually. It's because of recognizing all of those threads. My first talk here on August 8th, 2021 was about that. It was about those threshold moments in my life that all brought me to understand what it is to embrace a threshold moment. This call to pilgrimage has been an invitation to see those threshold moments, from the simple walking through a door, walking up a pathway that has changed dramatically here, coming to work, listening to the jackhammers that were transforming the sidewalk. All of those things are an invitation to be with what is, to recognize that path that led us here that we sometimes can't recognize until we turn around and look, and the present moment that also begins again and again and again with each breath, but that then ultimately calls us deeper and deeper into where God calls us. So my intention for this is to carry your intentions, whether I know them firsthand or not, because we are a community. So to just hold the intentions of my beloved community with me, to know that when I build the little rock cairn on the island of Iona, that your intentions will be there in that Celtic holy place, that thin place between the world that we're aware of and the far bigger world that we often are unaware of until we open our hearts and our eyes. And I have my own intentions for that journey. And so I say my intention out loud to you because you, as my community, also hold me accountable in love to my own journeying with God, and where she calls me. So my intention is this: to stay open, to stay curious about where that great open door. Thank you, Zelda, for that beautiful image of God as great open door. Where is God calling me to go deeper? To feel the through line of what I want at my deepest heart and soul level to carry forward, because it is the essence that God gave me in my unrepeatable expression. And what do I need to release? I see that spiraling staircase as that image. We go deeper and we come back up to the light and we go deeper again. It's not a one and done. We all know that. If only, right? Oh gosh, I'm so glad I learned that particularly big lesson in my life and I never have to revisit it again. Holy wow, go me. I have not found that to be true. I have found that I learn it, and maybe I have more space the next time to respond versus react, to recognize, oh wow, look at that, there's that Brigid pattern again. Fascinating. I learn over time to be a little less critical, that inner voice. But it still pops up. Sometimes, like last night at 12 and 1, there were multiple roommates talking in my head. You should be sleeping. You're going to be da-da-da-da-da. Right? So we have those small moments when those voices amp up. We have those really big, hard moments when what we're facing feels insurmountable. That is part of our life's pilgrimage. And in that beautiful Rumi poem, The Guest House, we're asked to invite them, welcome them at the door and invite them in laughing, because we never know what delight they're getting us ready for. And so in these sultry, warm summer days, whatever guest is knocking at the door of your life, I hope you remember that you go with grace, because you cannot help but go with grace, because it's there whether we recognize it or not. I hope that whatever guest is knocking at your door, inviting you to journey, that you trust that you do not walk alone, that God within, God in this community, God in your beloveds outside of these walls, you do not walk alone. And if you feel like you are walking alone, you still have that high watch of the beloved that cannot ever leave you. So pray, breathe, meditate, walk, dance, whatever it is that brings you to remembering that you are beloved. And know that you have beloveds here who will help you remember when you forget. And so I thank you for the grace of being in this relationship. Over and over again, it makes me cry on a Sunday because I cannot quite believe still, despite all reconstruction to the contrary, what a blessing it is to be able to work here, to live here, to grow here, to be in relationship with this beloved community. You are the voice of God that continues to call me to go deeper and deeper, and I am grateful. So wherever you are in your own beginning again, know that we walk together, even as we have to walk our own individual paths. We walk in community. filling our well, bringing it out, and coming back. May your next few weeks here be a blessing. I'll be listening to the recording when I come home. No pressure. Because I have drawn on your wisdom, Jerry. So I am grateful that we will expand the range of your voice heard to the members of this community as well. So go with God, and I will see you talking about the return from pilgrimage, because it is all about that return. It is the going forth and it is the coming home and finding that treasure that was there all along and seeing it anew. So may you be blessed and blessing in your weeks as I go away. And I'll see you when I get back. Holy wow. Amen.